Chapter 2. Good News and Bad News. That evening George sat in the car repair shop waiting for his tire to be replaced. It was taking much longer than it should, and as usual George was growing anxious and impatient. He didn't like waiting in lines for the movies, waiting in traffic, or waiting in line at the grocery store. He always picked the wrong line, and of course the person in front of him always had a product without a price tag, so a manager needed to be called and the product had to be found, and well, George felt as if the world conspired to inconvenience him. How long could it take to replace a tire? He wondered. At last the mechanic walked briskly into the room. "Sir, I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is that your car isn't destroyed and you're still here." "What are you talking about?" George shouted. "It's only a flat tire." "Well, that's more good news, sir. The flat tire prevented you from driving the car. While replacing the tire, I remembered seeing a notice from the manufacturer about your make and model, so I had a hunch to do a check on the brakes, and sure enough they were completely worn down. At any moment they could have gone, and you would have had no way of stopping. If you had hit a wall or something, you would be as flat as your tire. You're lucky to be here, sir. It's been a common problem with your year, make, and model, and you should have received notification of the recall." George remembered seeing some letter from his car manufacturer, but had just thought it was another sale mail trying to take his money, and so he had thrown it away. "The bad news," the mechanic continued, "is that the part takes about 2 weeks to get here from the manufacturer, so we'll need to keep the car here, and once the part comes in we'll be able to have it ready that day." Just great, George thought, not even realizing the good news he had just heard. The only things he was thinking about were having his car in the shop for 2 weeks and getting home. Just one more inconvenience for an inconvenient life.